Legendary late-night comedian Jay Leno suffered severe burns following a gasoline fire in his garage on Sunday. And the reports say it happened when one of his cars suddenly burst into flames. Jay received burns on the left side of his face. He was taken to a burn center. Joining us with more information, TMZ's Harvey Levin. Thank you for coming back on Good Day, Harvey.
Hey, Rosanna. How you doing?
I heard that you talked to Jay.
Yeah, I talked to him last night, and I got to say, he's really in good spirits. If you didn't know what happened, you would never know that, he was burned this way. But here's what he told me, that he was in his garage, the famous garage in Burbank on Saturday, and he was working on this 1907 steamer. That, by the way, Rosanna, for people who are having a tough time with the math here, that's a 115-year-old car.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Right.
So he's working on the fuel line, and he said all of a sudden there was a leak and gasoline sprayed in his face and on his body. And then almost simultaneously, there was a spark that ignited it. And he was on fire. He was just on fire. And there's a friend of his named Dave who jumped on him and extinguished the flames, which, again, if Dave wasn't around, God knows what would have happened to Jay. But Dave had the presence of mind to jump on him. So he did suffer what looks like third-degree burns on his face and his hand. And what we were told early in the morning was the good news was it didn't damage his eye or his ear. Nonetheless, he may have to get skin grafts. It sounds like he's going to. But again, he was in good spirits. You never would have known.
Well, maybe he's on major painkillers, Harvey. Lots of people feel pretty good when they're on painkillers. But
yeah, I know. But usually you can tell they're loopy, and he didn't seem loopy at all. So I don't know. And he said he's going to be in for a week to 2 weeks. And he's just itching to get back on the road. So,
but it doesn't sound like he doesn't sound like he's going to be ready in 2 weeks. I mean, the statement yesterday made it sound like he was going to be back on the air in 2 weeks. This sounds very, very bad.
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks. Look, I'm not a doc. Well, I am a Juris Doctor, but I'm not a real doctor. And I have no idea how long this takes. And it may be that he can do certain things, but not other things after 2 weeks. But he's determined to get back. He's a very determined guy, and he loves performing. He loves being on the road. So my guess is he will be back sooner than doctors want. That's my guess.
Right. And I imagine the car is gone. What happened with the car? Do I even ask about the car when Jay Leno could have died?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I forgot to ask that question, so I can't answer it.
Okay, because I know Jay Leno loves his cars. I'm sure, like, he's thinking about his car.
He loves his cars. As a matter of fact, we have a picture on the website of that car. It really is beautiful, and he loved that car. But when you're dealing with 115-year-old automobiles, look, I mean, it's been completely restored, but maybe it's safer to get a mechanic to do some of this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, please give him our very, very best wishes. We're big admirers of Jay. Can we talk a little bit about Gisele Bündchen? Because yesterday there were pictures of her in Costa Rica with some jiu-jitsu guy that teaches the kids. Is this just like clickbait, or is there something more here?
Well, I'm not sure what there is there, but it's not just clickbait. So there's this dude named Joaquin Valente, and he is a jiu-jitsu instructor in Miami. That's where he lives. And Gisele is down there all the time, so she has a house. And so she started a year and a half ago taking jiu-jitsu lessons from him. She eventually brought the kids there to take lessons as well. And they shot this very sexy magazine spread a year ago, really sexy magazine spread. And it kind of came and went. All of a sudden, remember, she got divorced 2 weeks ago. So all of a sudden, 4 days ago, Joaquin posts the pictures from that shoot on his Instagram, which he had never done before. And then we find out he's in Costa Rica with her. By the way, that's Tom and Gisele's special place. They have a house there. That's where they always went during the off season. So, he's down there, and we're told he's been down there for a couple of weeks and doesn't have a house there, and was also there at the same time she was last month. So, look, I don't know. It's just, it's just interesting. And I have no idea whether they're together or not, but it is kind of weird because this guy has a business, and he was telling people, at the Jiu-Jitsu Academy that he works at, that he was going to be gone for a while because he was going to Costa Rica. So that's what we know.
But let me ask you something, Harvey. Gisele, I think, and Tom, they homeschool their kids. So,
Yes.
A lot of people, a lot of teachers are with them. They have an entourage. They're not like you and I, we go with our spouse or whoever, and that's it. And, sometimes we try to get rid of the kids, but they go with an entourage.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose they could bring their jiu-jitsu instructor along for the ride for sure. He's just been there a long time, and he goes back, and he's been going back and forth apparently for a while now. So I don't know. I mean, what you say could absolutely be the case.
Yeah. All right, Harvey Levin, listen, we always enjoy talking to you. Thank you so much.
And likewise.
I got to get ready because David Boreanaz is here. Now, if you had...
Oh, wow.
I know, Harvey. So if you had the chance to ask David something, what would you ask him? Just so, I want to make sure I ask the right questions, because SEAL Team.
God, you're putting me in such a spot here. What would I ask him?
SEAL Team, another season or a movie? How about that?
Yeah, I'm more into the whole idea of Hollywood kind of getting along more because it's become very tribal out here. And I would love to know, maybe with the midterms where you've seen, a lot of extremists kind of lose, does it feel like maybe there'll be less tribalism in Hollywood? That's kind of what I'm into.